programming with language we call the DSL, so domain-specific language, because all the external resources it can access is actually totally controlled by the environment, like Amazon, they define their own environment. And actually, similar things is also host for the Phat Contract, because Phat Contract is the serverless program, is a serverless service for the Phala network. So from the capability part, I would say these two, they just have exactly the same capability. So this means all the things you can do with Amazon AWS Lambda, you can do that with Phat Contract. And also, but for example, like the programming language is a little different. So to use the Phat Contract, you need to write the Rust language. And but I think it should be an improvement, because the Rust language first is very popular now in the developer community. It's always be elected as the most popular languages, I think, for the last 3 years at least. And also, the Rust itself is a language which is focused on both the performance and the security. So like there will be very little like the memory error in the program you write with Rust, and this is I think this is the core reason why so many blockchain related projects they choose the Rust as the language to develop their like the blockchain and their smart contract, because security is so important in the blockchain world, because people has lost so much money because of some the error in the program or some bugs. So this is
okay, perfect. Thank you for explaining that. So maybe as the last question before Q&A, we could share our thoughts on the major event that happened recently in regards to Gavin Wood stepping down.
Yeah, I'm also going to introduce our mystery guest. So I'm going to have Zoe join the stage. So as you guys know, if you're familiar with the Polkadot ecosystem, she is the ambassador of Polkadot. And also she just recently joined Phala Network as our growth leader. So I'm going to have her join the stage as well. And, maybe she can share some insights with us too. Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, during the time that Zoe is joining, I want to use the valuable time to explain. Okay, hi Zoe.
Hello guys.
Fast.
Hi.
Yeah, this is the first time, Zoe is doing a crowdcast with us as an official Phala team member. So can you say hi to everyone?
Hello guys. Very nice to be here on this weekend round with everyone. I think we discussed already a lot of interesting topics, but as you guys know, the crypto world moves so fast. There are a lot of news coming up, and I think that's why Jojo wanted to have me join as well to discuss a little bit more the Polkadot ecosystem as well. Glad to be here.
Yeah, as the title said, let's talk about the P element over the last days. So a lot of things happened related to the P topics in the last couple of days. So as well just mentioned before, we really want to hear some insight from Zoe and also Marvin and maybe Dr. Shelvin about the recent, I would say, a huge change in the Polkadot ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm happy to go first here. I think you mentioned it in the beginning, right? The major news came out that Gavin Wood decided to step down as the CEO for Parity Technologies and takes on the position as chief architect for Polkadot Network in the Parity company. I think overall, from my perspective, it's great news for the ecosystem. And there's also a bit of a misconception about this news from, let's say, outside the ecosystem. And I think that's what we can discuss it a little bit and make the statement right why it's actually a positive movement for Polkadot itself. First of all, I think not as many people knew that Gavin Wood actually was the CEO of Parity Technology, right? He's the founder of Polkadot and of the network, and also co-founder of Ethereum. But there's a whole company behind it, right? We always have to understand that building a decentralized network like Polkadot, like Phala Network, also requires to actually manage a company and manage the people that actually building this whole decentralized protocol. And if people come up in the Web3 world with an idea of building something very innovative and even decentralized, right? A decentralized protocol and a community, it's much different than like in the Web2 world where you come up with a startup idea and you run like the whole company. It's a different approach that needs to be managed, and actually in the end how you actually work on your idea, right? So I think, so from my perspective, it's really positive news, because Gavin Wood in the end in the beginning had the vision of Polkadot, right, to rebuild a very innovative protocol, but then over the time got into like a position as CEO where he actually needs to manage people and needs to take decisions about a company that is not really combined with his vision that he wanted to build as a decentralized protocol called Polkadot, right? So now with his new position as chief architect, I'm super happy about it, and I feel the whole community is happy about it, because he can really provide more his skill set to the community and to the protocol in this position, instead of managing and doing a lot of management work, where Björn, for example, is a much better person for, or I don't know if it's much better, but definitely a good person that can take on this responsibility. And yeah, very glad to see this change.
All right.
Yeah,
Any insights?
it's okay. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Zoe, for the good insight input. And actually, if you imagine the most successful crypto projects in the world for now, which is Ethereum, right, doesn't have a CEO behind it, right? So, but there are a lot of brilliant technology companies behind Ethereum ecosystem, right? There is Consensus, who built MetaMask and Infura, and there is also Gnosis, right? And ChainSafe. In early stage, Parity is also one of the most important builder company behind Ethereum ecosystem. So and every these technology focused companies have a CEO. So yeah, so and Vitalik is none of this company's CEO, right? He is a thought leader and the leader in the whole entire Web3 scenario. So I think it's like when you have excellent talents in some perspective, you should like leverage your talent in the maximize value, instead of wasting your time in doing something you don't enjoy and you're not so enjoy in it. So I think the same situation is beginning on Polkadot. So first of all, I always say not to the any idea that we can decentralize the Polkadot ecosystem as much as possible, not in the other way. So yeah, more companies backing more rather than just a single one company is always good ideas. And when Gavin step back, be more focused on thought leader, designer, and technology architect leader is a better news that he running the company every day. So yeah, I love that what's happening, and I also think I'm practicing such theory in Phala as well. So as you all know that Phala Network all of the members here, we are like belongs to a company which is called HashForest, and HashForest is a technology company behind Phala Network. But we don't want to just own the network. We want to do code building, provide most of the code in the network. But no matter what kind of code we're providing, we need community to say I for the permission in uploading this code base. So that's how the governors running on Phala Network now, right? So every time when we're trying to do some runtime updates, we need to propose a motion in a democracy for community members to say yes or no. So yeah, I think this is the healthy track for us to go. And yeah, that's my additional insight on top of it. Yep, fun fact, Phala Network doesn't have a CEO. That's true.
Yeah, we're completely decentralized because we're trying. All right, thank you guys so much for all the insights. And just want to remind all the audiences, if you stay until the last, we're going to have some surprises for you guys. So I've seen a lot of great questions in the comment section. So I think both me and Will will pick some questions and we'll have the team answer them. So, Will, do you want to pick one first?
Sure. There's been quite a few great ones. So one message from John Singh has been asking about how the tokens work, how the token burns worked, and whether or not they're effective mechanisms for taming inflation.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Joe Singh, for providing such sharp tokenomic question. So at Phala Network, for now, we don't have a burn module on our tokenomic, and I'm not sure if Ethereum also have burn module. I jumped into the crypto space in 2018. To be honestly, I didn't see any successful running burn module tokenomic. Like people always imagine, okay, there's a supply curve and a demand curve, and if we can burn some token, the supply curve just will reduce, right? So that the token need of based on the supply, which is we call price, will getting up. Yeah, but the only successful case, not so successful case, but the workable case is Binance Chain. So they provide BNB, right? And BNB have a burn rate. So it is running good for exchanges. But other than that, I haven't seen any successful case. Let me put one of the most famous case for burn module in tokenomics, which is Luna. Luna actually have a burn module, and appearance it failed. No matter how much tokens the Luna Foundation burned for the stable coin, it's just not stable, right? The more they burned, the price is getting reduced more and more. So to this perspective, I just want to, I'm not saying no to that because I think we should open mind on every idea on different stage, right? Maybe like after 2 years, we found out that the perfect burn module for our tokenomic. But so far, based on my personal experience, I haven't seen a very strong point backing this idea yet. But we are still, like I mentioned, open mind to any possibility. Thank you, Johnson.
Okay, thank you, Marvin, for your insights. So I have a question from Chris Findlay. This question is for Dr. Shelvin regarding Phat Contract. So Chris asked, will Phat Contract have support other languages such as C+ in the future?
So the first is that actually we do not have the plan to support the language like the C or C++. And also, I think this is not the only choice from Phala Network. Also, most of the blockchain project they choose not to. This is, I think I have covered the reason is that it's very easy for you to make some mistake in the C and C++ because, for example, when you rent some workers, you run your contract in that, and for example, you make some mistake like the memory leakage or unexpected memory error, then your contract maybe just be banned or just go die forever. So, and I think this is not the risk for developers or for ecosystem to take. So actually, we do not have the plan to support such kind of low-level programming language, but we are always thinking that the Rust is a little hard for the people to learn because already it's very useful, it's popular, but it's not a very easy to learn language. So actually, the idea in our mind is that how we can support some easy to learn language like the Node.js, like the Python. So so our service and our contract can be utilized by more developers. So this is the idea behind that. And I think in the following time we will trying to figure out a way so we can do that in that part. Yeah.
Well, also add up comment on Dr. Sherman's reply, which is we.
Oh, you are lagging. Right.
Yeah. Ways to use. The first one.
Ah. So sorry, the question is about C#, not C++. but I think the C# has very different stack, I would say. So the current answer is no, but actually we do not have a toolchain to compile the C# code to the WASM, to the WebAssembly. Yeah.
Awesome. So another great question would be, could you please explain how PhalaWorld will benefit the community? This is from Billy.
Oh, this questions may be left to Marvin.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be back on in a minute.
Sorry. Yeah.
Marvin, are you back?
Maybe until Marvin is back, we can take another question here. It's a great question from Nanda regarding does Phala offer cloud storage too? How are we different from Filecoin, CRP? So maybe Shervin, you want to comment on this one as well?
Yeah. So first, yes, we are very different from the Filecoin or Aave because we are a computing service which is focused on the computation itself. So the answer is we do not provide any cloud storage, but we provide the capability to use this storage service because we support the HTTP request inside the contract. So this means you can use this request to connect to any storage service you want. And also to simplify this process, we have already prepared a library for people to easily utilize all the S3 API compatible storage service. So like the Filecoin, like the Aave, all their service are S3 API compatible. So this means you can use our library to easily just store something to their service and also read something back.
Maybe also to take on more like again on the vision of Phala Network, right? As a decentralized computation platform or cloud provider, we of course want to make it as easy as possible for the developers to put everything together what they need to set up a cloud, right? And computation is one part, storage is another part, and how to use the computation through Phat Contract and so on. So there are a lot of different components that we are building together right now for the developer to actually build up their whole infrastructure, let's say with one click in the future, right? We are not there yet, of course, but this is like our big vision, and that's why we do all these integrations with other decentralized storages for you guys to easily connect the components.
Yeah, and
Okay.
this is what the composability we meant.
Correct.
Oh, Marvin is back.
Yeah. So as you can see in the slides, although we are definitely not in the same space with R-Wave and Filecoin, but we are not even in the same space with smart contract, right? Because we realize there is one last piece we need to fill up for developers to build a 100% decentralized application. So the workflow will like use Phat Contract together with Filecoin or R-Wave, and the graph for subquery with layer 1 smart contract, let's say Polygon Ethermo, Moonbeam on Polkadot, A-Star Polkadot, or even Solana. So that's the whole piece of work for Web3 builders in the future. They are using different component or stack together to build Web3 app. So that's why we called it decentralized applications. But I just sorry, Chris, I'm offline a little bit. Chris Findlay, right? I'm just trying to explain that although we support Rust as a major language for a Phat contract in the early stage, but we also instead of row mode for developers, we will also provide a more easy, more accessible way to go mode for devs. That we will build something like a workflow, so that you can easily set up your component using Phat contract, created description automatically. So besides raw mode, you have to learn Rust to write a Phat contract. We also provide a more accessible way. Let's call it easy mode for developers. So even though you don't understand Rust, you can still use Phat contract. That's the key. Okay.
Answer your question, Chris. So I'm seeing another question from the Polkadot Insider team. Hello, Chris. So he asked, I'd like to ask about Phat Contract for social media. Will all the data messages from different Web2 social platforms can move to Web3 and interact with each other? For example, can people chat with others in several platforms, but in one conversation?
Yeah, so first the answer is yes. And actually, I think we already have many building blocks to this service. For example, in our previous workshop, we have showed that like you can use the Phat contract to connect to any existing Web2 services like GitHub, like Twitter. So after you have connect that part, actually you can read all this content, like all the tweets you post. So this is the first. And also, I think another workshop we have shown is that you can use the Phat contract as like a Telegram bot or a Discord bot. So this means you can use it to read the message from the users, and also you can use it to make some replies or response. Yeah. So I think so. This is the meaning of the contract when it go off chains. So this means it can connect to any blockchain you want. So and also it can connect to any Web2 service. That is. So this means for you to build a chat room, I think the Phat contract itself is a very good to use tools. But actually, you need to take some efforts because there is still some work to do.
Okay, great. Another interesting question we've received is from Billy. Could you please explain? No, sorry, wrong question. Yeah, so with the current tokenomics, when will the full supply of Pha token be in circulation?
When will be the full supply of Pha token be circulation.
Be in circulation.
I mean, and it's at least half period module in Phala token now. So it's pretty if we just mentioned about the reducement from halving period, is the module looks very similar with Bitcoin. So it means that the halving will execute, era by era, and in the end, it will be infinitely smaller amount. So, but in mathematics, it will halving forever. That's the simple answer. But in the end, it might be really small. Like after a couple of decades, the mint amount will be 10 Phala tokens per year, something like that. So that's the answer.
Okay, great. So I'm going to pick one last question. And if you have any more questions that are unanswered, you can always go to our Discord group. We have a lot of different channels for all of your questions. And we'll have, the team members and also our moderators answering these questions as well. So let me see. Okay, so he Billy also asked, could you please explain how PhalaWorld will benefit the community? Okay. That's a great question for those people who are not familiar with PhalaWorld yet.
I already prepared for that. Thank you.
Each.
Yeah, so as you can see, this is my PhalaWorld spirit NFT, and it's alive. Everybody can claim your spirit NFT. It's we built up PhalaWorld right after Vitalik presented the idea of soul bound tokens theory in January 2022, and we think that's a pretty good way, to create something like a credit numbers or credit system for community members. So it's not just the untransferable NFT here in PhalaWorld as your spirit. That's why we call it spirit. You can't you can't sell your spirit to any other person. But in the personal attributes, as you can see, we generated a credit system for everybody's contribution in the whole Phala community. So no matter what kind of moves you're contributing to us, you could just make them on-chain transfer, hold some token, or make some commitment to our GitHub, or you're just following our Twitter and retweet it, saying loud, hey, Marvin, this is a good post, something like this. We will try to tracking them and synergistic or generated a credit score for each person in the community. So apparently my personal score here, I'm just level 41. So this is the first step for PhalaWorld, is that we have by distributing a free but untransferable NFT for each team, each community member, we can generate reputation scores based on every useful, practicable action you make for Phala. So so you can clearly see how Marvin contribution been tracking these data. And on the other hand, in our next step, issue is coming very soon. The usage for such scores will coming up, which is we will transfer your scores into characters, like no matter who you, what kind of personality you got, or what kind of on-chain action you make, we will virtualize your identity in the Phala community. For example, our developer, if they make a lot of commitment in our open source project, then he will have an encryptable high score rank on the wizard skills. So they will be a perfect hacker wizard. And for the miners in the community, they can be the robot droid. So as you can see, we virtualized everybody's role in Phala community. And that's the only purpose for why we built a PhalaWorld, is that we want to make the community for Phala a lot of enjoyable. So yeah, as you can see here, I got a rank score for myself on Spirit NFT. And when you pick up your career and in PhalaWorld, it will match different roles, because every career, every role means some kind of virtualized contribution you made in the community before. So I'm not a good hacker wizard, but I will be a very good, hardware droid or a very good robot warrior. So this is what's the purpose behind PhalaWorld and how it can benefit our community.
Awesome. Thank you for showing everything, Marvin. And if you haven't checked out the PhalaWorld website, definitely go do that. And if you haven't claimed the Spirit NFT, you can also do that now. The Shell NFT mint will start, I would say, in the very, very near future. So definitely, go follow our Twitter, go into our Discord channel, stay for the latest updates. Okay, so it's been over an hour. For all the unanswered questions, just like I mentioned before, you guys can always ask in the Discord group or Telegram group. We have the team members and moderators answering them for you guys. And also, like I mentioned in the beginning, we are going to have some little surprises for everyone that joins and stayed for the crowdcast. So we're giving out a pop for everyone that's attended this event. So I'm going to share the screen, and there is going to be a QR code. And if you guys can open up your camera and then scan the QR code, it'll lead you to a website, and then you can claim your pop there. Okay, 1 second. Okay, you can just go ahead and scan the QR code, opening your camera, and then claim your pop. I'm going to do that too. Yeah, as everyone's claiming their pop. So I just want to have Zoe share with us some exciting events that we're going to attend next month. She'll be everywhere next month. We're going to have
everywhere. Yes. Overall, we have to, first of all, it's nice to see that the Polkadot ecosystem is very present at a lot of events. And we at Phala, we take also decide, strategically which kind of events we want to attend and which one makes sense. But as you guys just heard today, we are, building very, very cool tech and very innovative. The overall Phat Contract concept is a very innovative a technology for the whole Web3 industry. Yeah, we can enable a lot of use cases with it. Even PhalaWorld with the soulbound NFT concept is very innovative. So our team is always very forward thinking, and that's what we have to represent at the events as well. So that's why we made specific moves now for November coming up. We will definitely be at Web Summit. If you guys heard about it, it's the biggest web conference actually for Web 2 companies, but more and more blockchain or crypto companies are joining this conference as well. So we will be there. Polkadot will be there as well as with the whole booth, but Phala Network has a small booth there as well. And there are also, as I said in the beginning, a lot of activities of the Polkadot ecosystem overall going on. So there's a Polkadot World conference in Madrid where Phala Network will be represented as well. If you guys are around there, I'm happy to connect with you and chat about Phala Network overall. And then we also have Sub-Zero coming up. That's the biggest developer conference in the Polkadot ecosystem. So mainly for developers want to build on Polkadot, and a lot of parachains will be represented there. So we have Josh, our developer advocate, speaking, and he is actually explaining a bit more about Phat Contract and giving a very insightful workshop there. I hope that this will also be recorded, so for everyone that is not able to join there can rewatch it afterwards. We're also hosting a developer dinner during Sub-Zero. So this is a unique opportunity for you guys to have like to chat with the team in a more private environment. It's like it's not open for everyone, so you need to register and sign up for it. And really encourage you guys to be there. And San Francisco Blockchain Week we have coming up as well. So I think I can talk like some more minutes about all the events, but just follow our newsletter and like all the announcements where we will be as a team, because it's very important for us also to connect with you guys directly. If you have like the opportunity to test out Phat Contract, to use PhalaWorld when it's finally launching soon, and give us the feedback directly, right? And have the opportunity to exchange with us also in person. So that's why we take the opportunity to travel around and really want to meet you guys as well.
Okay, thank you, Zoe. And I think as people are trying to scan for the QR code and getting the pop, I just want to take the time and thank you for the team's time again. And also, we really appreciate the support from the family community within, your support as always. And also from last week, especially, we've seen a lot of great growth in the community. We've seen our supporters explaining Phala Network and PhalaWorld to everyone and to newcomers. It's really awesome, and thank you guys for all the effort. So I'm not going to take too much time of the speakers. So if you guys want to exit, you guys can exit the crowdcast now. But I'm going to stay on stage for a little bit for more people to scan the QR code.
Okay.
And also for the audience that are staying, so if you guys want to leave your comment below of what you would like to listen or discuss about for our next crowdcast, it'll be great. And if you have any feedback for this crowdcast, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Okay, guys, I'm going to wait for a few more minutes. And if you have any problem scanning the code or it doesn't come up or whatever, you can leave your comment below in the comment section, or you can reach out to me on Discord too later. All right, guys, I'm going to close the POP claiming website. If you have any trouble claiming it, or if you haven't gotten it, then you can reach out to me on Discord. It's Potato Joe. That's my name. All right, thank you, guys. I'll see you next time.